All right, today we're going to talk about weathering versus erosion. Do you have an idea what that might be?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think it is?
Weathering means it's been in the world somewhere for a very long time, getting old, rotten, decaying.
Okay. What about erosion?
It means it's pretty much vanished.
Okay. So, have you ever wondered why mountains exist or why rocks seem to change shape over time?
Huh.
That'll be something that we're going to be learning about today, of how our land is affected and gets changed by erosion, and how what causes them. And after we are done, I have a worksheet that has a couple questions, and I'm going to demonstrate. So at our station 1, we have the wind erosion. You're gonna write down or draw what you observe when blowing through the straw. And the station 2, water erosion, you're gonna say what happened to the soil when sprayed with water. And then on station 3, ice erosion, what changes did you notice after ice was applied and removed? That one I might not do because I don't have all that for, but then we would watch our phenomenon video. So today our lesson is focusing on weathering and erosion, two processes that shape our Earth's surface. We're going to define what erosion is and what weathering is. There's a few other vocab words that we are going to do today. Weathering defined is a natural process of breaking rocks into smaller pieces over time. The factors that can be included with this is weather, chemical reactions, and biological activities. So like you're saying, when we have snow and storms, sometimes we have different things that change. For instance, like during tornadoes, it destroys the dirt, moves it, stuff like that. Types of weathering: mechanical weathering, which is a physical breakdown. This is an example of frost wedging. Chemical weathering is chemical reactions, which is changing composition. And examples like acid rain, so it would be like in your areas that have acid rain. And erosion is defined as a process that is transporting weathered material to new locations. Agents: wind, water, and ice. So for instance, if we have a mudslide, if we have a lot of rain and we have mud that falls, the water is moving that dirt to a different area, different location. Same thing with wind, it picks up. Our deposition: this is simply just a dropping of the sediment in a new place, and can create new landforms such as details. Wind can drop sand to create sand dunes. For instance, like I know our lake here in town, we have where some of it's called the 5-Island Lake, and so some of those islands were developed by being moved from the water. Sediment and landform: a sediment is a solid material that is moved and deposited in a new location. Landform is a feature on the Earth's surface that make up the terrain. So basically like lakes, stuff like that. The difference between weathering and erosion is weathering breaks rocks, erosion moves them. Weathering doesn't move materials and erosion does. Weathering precedes erosion. So a thing to keep in importance and remember is Earth's surface shaping, effects on agriculture, construction, and environment. So real life examples, things that are happening that show erosion, were the Grand Canyon Formation and the coastal cliffs, and then desert rocks is what caused because of weathering. Here are just some pictures that are of the Grand Canyon, the desert rocks, and the coastal cliffs, and how they were changed. So, how does erosion change the land, and why is this important to us? Just say something.
Erosion changes the land because it's deteriorating things.
Okay.
Making it go away.
Okay. So, and weathering breaks rocks into smaller pieces, and erosion transports these pieces, and both shape the Earth's surface. Okay. So now I have some materials. I've got a stick, some ice, and then I've got some dirt. Okay? So I'm going to take this dirt and I'm going to pour. It's not very much. If I were to take, I want you to suggest to me what you think might happen if I take this straw and I blow some wind onto the dirt.
It's going to make it move.
Okay, so what would that be? Would that be weathering or would that be erosion?
Both in a way.
Okay. Yep, it moved. Okay. Now if I were to take this water and pour onto the sand, what do you think would happen there?
It would make it more of a solid where it won't blow. It'll be wet and heavy.
Okay, so kind of like a mud.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this would be considered erosion, because these break off, so the land can go into the trees. Sometimes they'll move different areas. And that stuff, wind can pick them up. Obviously, if I blow on the straw, it's not going to move too much. We know that if the ice, if I were to pour warm water, it's going to change shape, it's going to melt. It would be different, right?
Yep.
Okay.